Good Friday morning to you all. You're watching the Kaiser Report. Welcome back. I'm John. We're going to talk to you today about some of the nonsense that has taken place over the last week or so with regard to these election attempts at winning the presidency. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but press conference after press conference happened with regard to one side, and RFK Jr. showed up on Hannity this past week, and Kamala Harris has been out and about with Joe Biden, which was an uncomfortable thing to watch. If you did watch it, it was kind of amusing. We saw angry Joe, we saw humble Joe, we saw Joe wondering what in the world ever happened to him. And we are rudderless in this ship called the United States of America right now because we do not have a sitting president, and I doubt very much that Kamala Harris, as VP of the United States of America, is doing anything related to the job that is before her that she was put in there to do. Almost incredible what's taken place over the last few months with regard to the changes in Kamala Chameleon. How she can go from far left to extreme right at the drop of a hat. She's out today, folks. I'm going to warn you ahead of time before you tune in and hear any of this that's going on with her. But she is going to present today her plan for the high food prices that are taking place and are tantamount to being close to the top of people's decisions because of the food prices and gasoline prices and the like. Her answer to this, even though she was part and parcel along with Joe in implementing the problem that we have right now, which starts with transportation, and when you shut down the oil and the price of gasoline and diesel fuel go skyrocketing, guess what happens? It costs more to get your item from plant A to the retailer through the middleman and the trucking situation or trains or whatever it takes, ships to get the goods to you. That's a transportation problem, and let's think of what happened to our transportation system in the United States. Does the name Buttigieg mean anything to you? That's part of the problem. But her solutions today that she is going to open this whole flower to tell you everything is going to be all right because she is going to implement price controls on day one.
You're insane. Insane.
Day one happened, a long time ago, Kamala, and you did nothing but aid in adding the problems that you now think that you're going to fix with price control. Well, what does price control do? If the price of bread is $1 today and you implement price control, you have still a high price on that bread, and she is going to blame the bread manufacturer, the corporation, for greed, which has nothing to do with anything, because if you've ever run a business in your life, if you've ever been involved with being responsible for a paycheck to someone's family,
excellent,
that's working for you, you would quickly realize that the cost of goods and the margins gained on the course of goods, when I'll tell you exactly because I've been in and out of several different businesses in my lifetime. But if you look at the restaurant bar margins on food, they're lucky to be at 1.5% if it's run properly. So what are you going to do by price controlling anything? You're just going to freeze the prices where they are now, and then you have the government manipulating what you're going to pay for a quart of milk or a box of cereal? All while the transportation system, which is right now broken, and our fuel systems, which drive the transportation of goods to the retailer for you to go and buy, you have an increased cost of getting it there, which is then passed on to the retailer or the restaurant owner or the bar owner, who has to tack a surcharge onto or increase his menu prices or goods prices to absorb that extra hit that he has to take so he doesn't lose the lousy 1% margin that he may be making on that particular item or foodstuff. That, coupled with the fact that we have a farm system which is being systematically fooled with by people like Bill Gates, George Soros, these foundations that they're putting together telling you that you don't need cattle anymore, you can eat bugs, and then selling off our deserts so we can put solar farms into our deserts, which is more destruction of the earth than their stupid hoax of climate change. Do they not see this? Who is going to absorb those costs? Your energy bills have already increased by sometimes 18% over this last summer, and we had a very hot summer, which means everyone was running their air conditioner at full tilt for more than normal this year. So they have that chunk coming out of that paycheck that they were not expecting. When you look at what the average person is take-home pay is, when you start taking 33.33% of that particular payroll check to buy necessities, heat or cool your home, feed your family, clothe your family, and drive the family car, what does that leave you? And now she wants to take another 24% of that particular take-home pay. If you're doing well, she wants to raise the taxes on it. Why does she want to raise taxes? And do not believe her for 1 second when she tells you she's going to lower taxes for the middle class and put it on the back of the wealthy people in this country. How many wealthy people do you think we really have in this country that can sustain that won't move their businesses and everything else out of this country one more time because of impossible taxes? And if you want proof of that, just take a look at the history in the last 6 years of California. It'll show you 1, 2, 3 what you're going to get with increased tax loads on the working population. Housing. One side has a plan for housing, affordable housing. The other side, nothing. There's no questions and answers with her because they're keeping her in the basement, just like they're going to use the same tactic they use with Joe. God knows what disease they're going to come up with to lock everybody down when they get to that point. But anything can go now. They just tried to assassinate their competition. It's not a good situation that we're in. And do not believe what she comes out today and tells you about capping prices and doing these kinds of things. It's been done before. It's a communistic view, a socialistic view of how things can be done that way, and they don't work. If you want to look at Venezuela, if you want to look at the Soviet Union and places that have done this in the past, including right here when they had a trial run in the 70s on that, it's a failure. It is not going to work. This person is a living, walking shell game, a 3-card Monte of a candidate running for your vote to be president of this country and continue the job that was started by Obama to fundamentally destroy what we have now and rebuild it as a social utopia. Doesn't work. We have the greatest country and the greatest constitution in this world right now. Why are we trying to destroy it? And why would we take anyone that has out and out lied to us in the past and give them a second opportunity to lie to us some more? And in this case, you've got Joe that lied to us all these years, these 3.5 years, and she swore to it. She was deadly involved in every decision made by the Biden administration and full well knows it. And now she says, I'm a leopard with change spots. They have spent this time that they're hiding her away, trying to teach her not to giggle. You just cannot make these things up. It's there before your very eyes and in your ears every day. And now today, it's leaked out that she's coming out today to try and woo the mainstream of this population, the working folks that go out every day and make things happen, serve us, work for us, protect us, build things we need, and try to drive a wedge between them and her opponent on one side to garner votes. She will say anything that she has to stay in power. You have to understand this about that entire administration. They do not want to relinquish power because they're not finished with the job they were tasked with by Obama. It's plain as the nose on your face if you want to stop, look, and listen. It's not a good situation when you're telling people that you're not going to tax the middle class and then go ahead and tax the middle class once you're elected and say, well, I can't help it. It's the corporations that are doing this. It's not the corporations that cause this problem that we're experiencing now with our economy, our transportation systems, and the like. It's this administration, which she is an integral part of. And now she's going to tell us that she wasn't? Well, what the hell did she do for 3.5 years as vice president of this country? Because it sure as hell wasn't fixing the border. The other problem that we have is our social programs throughout some of these larger states that are blue states are sucking everything out of the coffers to house, transport, and find driver's licenses, voting registrations, and everything for illegal people that have crashed through this border against the law, which makes them criminal. And if you're such a great prosecutor, Kamala Harris, as you say you are, why did you allow crime like this to take place?
It's just not right.
When you were put in charge by the president of coming up with an answer for the border problem. And now, on top of that, we're going to add to the illegality of all of this by giving them work permits and letting them vote. That is unconstitutional. That is criminal. And you, as a supposed prosecutor of such high caliber, should have put your foot down on this and stopped it and nipped it in the bud.
It's just not right.
But it didn't happen. And now you're out telling me and everyone else that on day one you're going to fix all this? This is far past day one for you. Day one was 3.5 or more years ago when you took the oath and did nothing at all to stop the crime of crashing through a sealed border without the proper vetting or paperwork. That is a crime, Miss Prosecutor. A crime. And you're rewarding crime much as you did during the George Floyd riots. Lest we forget that. The copycat and plagiarism of the no tax on tips, you were the one that signed off the bill and broke the tie to make sure that 88,000 IRS agents went after people just like those people that live on their tips. Try and deny that. You have a lot of nerve. A lot of nerve. But this is what you're going to get today from the Democratic Party, and I just can't wait until Monday when the big Hollywood extravaganza takes place and kicks off in Chicago. But no worries, because they cleaned up the murders. They're down to only like 4 or 5 a day now, from 10 to 11. So says the police chief. And then what are you going to do when the Palestinian protesters, which you back, you, Kamala, back, show up to tell you what you can do on day one? Israel's a sovereign nation and am well capable of taking care of their citizenry and well capable of instituting their ceasefire if that is going to be the answer. But you cannot and you can never trust anything Hamas or the Ayatollahs will tell you that they will do, because they never keep a treaty, much like some things that happened here back in the time. I don't think we've ever upheld any treaty with our Native American populations. That's a damn crime. What's even a bigger crime is the cartels are now using those reservations as kickoff points for their distribution of fentanyl and other drugs that make fentanyl look like child's play. They're out to kill off our population and put a dent in what this government stands for. And they're doing a damn good job, because they've been let do whatever they want for 3.5 years. And this woman is out asking you now to give her a raise and a new seat in charge of the whole bailiwick. Do not buy that 3-card Monte of a game that she is playing out for this citizenry and legal voting population. That's enough for the warnings today. If you're not preparing for the worst and praying for the best, you need to. Make sure you have enough foodstuff, non-perishable foodstuff stocked away, plenty of water stocked away, antibiotics, a great first aid kit that has everything you're going to need, and be prepared. Because we have 20 million people that have come into this country illegally, and we don't know what their intentions are or what cells are being set up to do what damage and where they're going to do it. It's not if, it's when. So be prepared and pray every day for guidance in how to do that, and pray every day for the people in this country that they will wake up and understand the lies they've been told by our news networks, mainstream media, and our government. Our three-letter agencies that used to be thought of as impeccable have been compromised. It's coming out more and more every day. So who can you trust? You can trust in God. You can trust in his son, Jesus Christ, the Blessed Virgin Mary, your guardian angel, and your family. Beyond that, be wary, ask the questions, get the answers that you know are right, and pray for peace in this country and around the world, and pray every day that it's going to get better. Trust no politician to actually do anything that they say they're going to do, because they will say anything to get elected, because once elected they can become wealthy and part of the elite mechanism that will keep you down and make sure that you follow the footsteps that they place for you to walk in. That's not the way this country was founded to be. But we have fiefdoms now that people that are in elected officials live in and don't want to leave. And I'll say this one more time, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but I want someone to tell me how a person can go into elected public office with a minute bank account and within a year and a half, 2 years, make millions of dollars on a salary that pays $140,000. Someone explain that to me, because I'm not getting it. Do you think they want to leave that? Do you think they want to leave the lobbyists buying them cars, buying off anything that they can to get a vote from them on a specialty item that they need for them? This is what lobbyists do. Washington oh man, and there's more. You can just turn around 3 times and throw a baseball and you're going to hit a lobbyist. And they have millions to pay to these people, and they are doing it. How in the world do you think AOC in the squad is worth what they are? Think about that. Think about that when you're trying to put a wardrobe together for your child to go back to school with this year. Think about that when you're trying to stock your refrigerator for the next week and a half that you have to plan meals for. Think about that when you have to make your car payment, or your house payment, or buy a house at 7.5% mortgage. Think about it. Think about Bernie Sanders owning 3 major homes. There's a man that never worked a day in his life other than politics. Think about that. Think about Chuck Schumer. These people all live high on the hog and tell you what you can and can't do and what you're going to pay for. Now they want to submarine corporations one more time because they're going to blame their mismanagement of an economic situation in this country for 3.5 years, which they inherited a good economic situation and decided on day one, they love that word, day one. Joe Biden killed it and started the decline of our economic situation and the increase in inflation and the price of goods as a direct result of his executive orders. Guess who was part and parcel to that? Kamala Harris. Do not forget these things. These are important factors that you need to know. And I don't care if you really can't stomach the sight or the sound of Donald Trump. I don't care if you hate him so bad because you've been told to hate him. I don't care if you don't like him because he has mean tweets. I don't care if you hate him because you just don't like him. Look beyond someone's personality and look at what acumen they have to fix the problems that we face now. And I don't care who it is, if they have the correct answers and the ability to do it, and they are not a complete dyed-in-the-wool career politician that just wants votes. Let the man show you how he can make your life better. Hatred for one individual, whether it's RFK Jr., Donald Trump, or even Kamala Harris, and God love Joe Biden, but the man is absent. Did you see yesterday when the Secret Service had to go take him out of the hedges because he was wandering around when he got off the helicopter? He went the wrong way. I know he doesn't spend a lot of time at the White House, but I think he was looking for the beach. Is it time for my ice cream yet? God love him. They really stuck it to him. And they really embarrassed the man and took away some fine years of life by propping him up to do a job that they full well knew on those primary stages he had not the ability to do this. And the deals were made by backroom people that we never see that are actually running this country right now. He was on that primary stage with some really good minds, all but one. But deals were cut because someone in the back rooms wanted Biden because he was the only malleable one that they could get away with things on. So they went around and made deals with his opponents, such as, hey, Kamala, you drop out now. We'll have something for you later. Buttigieg, we're going to get you a cabinet position. Klobuchar, we're going to, help you along down the road. and so on and so on. So here comes Joe Biden, the grand nominee, the only one that can beat Trump. And then they rigged things to go his way. And then they kept rigging things after he was elected to make you believe that he was all there. When we watched a progressive decline in his capabilities until D-Day, the 80th anniversary, came along, and then the debate. And then they looked at each other in the back room and said, oh my God, what are we going to do now? We just prepped this guy for 2 full weeks and he blew it. Let's get Schumer and Pelosi to help us out here. It's like living in Batman's Gotham, where all the characters come up with followers to help them along with their plots, which always fail. And then their plot to kill Batman didn't work. What are we going to do now, Robin? I know. Let's put somebody of color and a woman in place of Joe. Oh, wait, we have one, and she's the vice president. Do you see the scripting here? Do you see the cheating and the lying that is taking place before your eyes, and then mainstream media comes along and says, that didn't happen. Oh, isn't she great? And let's redefine everything that she's ever said and take it all back. Can you imagine if this whole thing was reversed and this was Donald Trump doing this? Oh, my God. It's incredible. But if you don't find the humor in it, like I do, you'll go crazy. And the media will continue to lie and lie and lie to cover up everything that is going on in real life, so you don't see it. Don't look behind that curtain. Pay attention to what The View tells you.
Oh, snap.
There's a dose of poison for you. There's reports all over the place that this country is walking away from God or religion. Well, that's the last thing that should be done right now, because we need God more than we ever have. And if you don't invite God into your heart and into your mind to help your wisdom make the right decisions, you're going to suffer down the road in one fashion or another. So pray for our leaders, pray for our country, and pray for the citizens that will be casting a vote, that they cast a vote to save not only religion in this country, but the Constitution has to be preserved. And there is a left side that is trying to destroy that. So remember that, because when you destroy that Constitution, you're going to destroy the country. And we'll be no better than any of the communist countries that you can name off that people are clamoring to get out of. And I'm not talking about the countries that are sending their criminals and insanity people here. I'm talking about the real people. And who are the real people in this country? It isn't one damn politician, I'll tell you that. It's the people that go out and repair the roads, fix your car, fix your plumbing, paint your house. Service in this country has taken a back seat to social behavior, and that can no longer be. This country was built on service and hard work, all under the guise of God, and we need to get back to that. And with that, it's the weekend. Hope you're all planning a great weekend, and we love you here at the Kaiser Report. And remember, if you need some meats, get a hold of Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop today for your weekend barbecue. You can find them on Facebook under Lazy J Farms. And with that, I'm going to say have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Kaiser and I are going to try to get out. We'll have the camera in the car. Hopefully we'll see something fun and get something that is not politically related out to you over the weekend for you to look at and enjoy. In the meantime, find love in your heart, help a neighbor, help somebody that is in need right now. It will come back to you tenfold. God bless you all. Bye-bye now. And we'll see you back here on the Kaiser Report first thing Monday morning. So enjoy the weekend.